Rap vinyl tag. Shout out Daryl D. Let's get it. Welcome back to Junior's Music Corner. If this is your first time, thank you for joining us. We should have a good video today. All right, so yesterday I woke up with a surprise that Daryl D had started a vinyl tag strictly for rap music, which is cool with me. I was personally called out, and so here's my video. All right, so there's 15 questions in the tag. I'm gonna try my best to answer all of them. If I can't, I'll throw a substitute question in there. So let's get it started. All right. So question number one is, what's the first rap record you purchased? So for me, being an 80s baby and starting to buy my own music late 80s and not being able to buy certain artists due to subject matter and stuff like that since I was still young, um, it's gonna be Kid and Play. Now I didn't collect vinyl in the 80s, so of course I bought this on cassette, but it's nostalgic and I had to get it on vinyl. So shout out to Kid and Play, one of my favorite artists still to this day. I can rock with some Kid and Play. This album will come up again later on with one of the questions, so check it out. All right, question number two is, show one of your blue-eyed rap records, meaning a white artist, and it specifically says no Eminem and no Beastie Boys. All right, so for this one, going back to my youth again, got to go with Rob Van Winkle, Mr. Vanilla Ice. I spent from 85 to 91, I was in Germany, and when this album came out, it was wildly popular, I guess, everywhere because it's one of the most sold rap albums in history. But again, I had bought this on cassette as a youngster, but it wasn't a bad album. Still, I don't think it's a bad album. It gets a bad rep for his people trying to turn him into Hammer and all, but shout out Vanilla Ice. And I also pulled out Mr. Wahlberg, Marky Mark, and the Funky Bunch with Good Vibrations. Not a bad song. I never got to hear their full album, never bought it, but this was a wildly popular song. So these are my blue-eyed artists that I picked, Marky Mark and Vanilla Ice. All right, so number three is show a 10-inch rap record. Unfortunately, I don't have one of those. So Vinyl Richie also did this rap vinyl tag, and one of the questions that he substituted was show a rap album from Record Store Day. So I'm gonna roll with that one. And I went with Mystic. This is Cuts for Luck and Scars for Freedom. This is the 20th anniversary reissue. They put this out Record Store Day, I believe, last year. I first learned about this album early 2000s, digging around at the record store, and I bought the CD on the strength of the name, Cuts for Luck and Scars for Freedom. It had a different cover than this. I put the cover up and show you what that had looked like. But I was impressed. I had never heard of her, and I listened to the CD, and I was thoroughly impressed. Her rhyme was on, her subject matter was dope, and she was spitting. So shout out Mystic. And this will also segue into question number four. Let's go. All right, so question number four is show a rap record by your favorite female MC. All right, my favorite female MC was introduced to the world on this album, Crisscross's The Bomb. She was featured on the title track, The Bomb. And of course, the female MC I'm talking about is none other than Chicago's own Brad. Debut album, Funkified, classic. When this album came out, of course, we had it on CD first. We played it nonstop. And the crazy thing, and they say Brad was the first female MC to go platinum, and she did that with 9 tracks. Like crazy. But anyway, of course, we got the debut, Funkified. Then when I heard Vinyl Me Please was reissuing it, had to get that pink vinyl, whatever. So we got our sophomore, another Tantrum, which was crazy. This was also a dope album. and her third album, Unrestricted. This album put me on to Millie Jackson, and now like I have a crazy love for Millie Jackson. And the last one of the Brat I got was Limelight Love and Nightclubs. I bought this one sort of to complete that run, but shout out to Brat. A close runner up for that spot was though Queen Latifah in command. Queen Latifah. This is the Black Rain album. This is a promo copy. Not sure if this album was ever pressed with the official cover in the U.S. It may have been overseas somewhere, but shout out Queen Latifah. And Black Rain is it's a dope album, one of her best albums. So shout out to the Queen. All right, number 5. What is the last rap record that you bought? So last week I picked up Michael by Killer Mike. Great album. I had streamed this album a bunch of times when he was doing his rounds, doing interviews everywhere. I would watch the interviews and listen to him, and I hadn't listened to the album yet, but then once I did, I was impressed. It was a great album. What they say, album of the year. I give him that. If you haven't heard this album, go check it out. I know a lot of the young guys were upset because Killer Mike, I believe, was going against Travis Scott, and they believe that should have got album of the year. But if you haven't, give it a listen. Shout out Killer Mike. And yesterday, I got a couple records in the mail. One was a rap album. That is none other than The Coup with their debut, Kill My Landlord. Shout out Bruce Riley, RP Pam the Funksters, and E-Rock. Got put onto The Coup back in the day. Had been on Rap City. Their first single, Dig It, came on, and the things that Boots rapped about, everything was different than what else was being played, and it stuck. And I've been into The Coup for a long time. Glad to finally have this on vinyl. This is a 2014 reissue. Before this, there was only the promo. Pretty hard to come by unless you want to drop some chips on it, you know what I'm saying? But I got this one, and that's what's up. The Coup. All right, so number 6 is, what is a rap record that you bought, got rid of, and then bought a second time? And for that, I got to go with Big Sean's Detroit 2. There was a time where I was dealing with this record company out of Florida that sold vinyl records super cheap, and for a little while I was flipping records, and it was pretty cool getting records like $5-6 and flipping them for $25-$30. But I had maybe 3 copies of this record, and I sold them all, and chance came around and I was able to get another copy. I never listened to it before, and I really haven't played it yet, but in due time I'll check it out. But I did buy another copy of this to keep for myself, in hopes that I'll enjoy it. So it's on the to listen to pile. Shout out Big Sean. Shout out Detroit. All right, number 7. What is the most valuable rap record in your collection? Honestly, I don't know. I just grabbed one that I know a lot of people out there want, and kind of hard to come by at least a decent copy. And that's Ghetto Boys, OG Ghetto Boys. I want to say first LP. Um, RIP Bushwick, RIP Ready Red. This is the OG copy. The reissues, a lot of the Rap A Lot reissues, they pull songs off, and this one especially because they had a sample on it that didn't get cleared, and so they had to redo that song and put it on all the issues, all the copies after that. And but this one contains the original Steve Miller sample on the Gangsta Love song. And I copped this pretty cheap. I think the guy I bought it from wasn't really into hip hop or didn't know it had some value to it. But I know some people they want upwards of 100 plus for it. So I chose this one. Shout out Ghetto Boys, one of my favorite groups. All right, number 8 is show a rap record with lots of humor. I pulled 3 of them for this. First one is Chunky A with Large and in Charge. And this was Arsenio Hall's little rap alter ego he did back in the day. Extremely funny. Well, I don't think it's supposed to be taken seriously as a rapper, but it was funny. And as a youngster hearing this, we laughed so hard. Shout out Arsenio. The second one I pulled for that was Digital Underground's "Who Got the Gravy," and specifically for the song with Shock G and Biz Markie. RIP to both of them. Odd couple, where they're going back and forth throwing jabs. Super funny. Gotta love Digital Underground. Like I say, RP Shock G, RP Biz. And last for the humor album. So Daryl showed DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince's Rock the House. Of course, Will and Jeff always funny. And like I said, Vinyl Richie did one, and he also showed Jeff and Will Smith album. But I picked this one, and in this corner, Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince for the song. I think I can beat Mike Tyson. Still hilarious. Funny video. Can't lose. So shout out Will and Jeff. All right, number 9. What is the most amount that you spent on a rap record? This question can get a lot of people in trouble. I try to be frugal when shopping for vinyl, but sometimes there's records that you want, and if you want them, you got to pay to get them. But to keep it cool, I'm go with Eazy's 187 album. It's an expensive album. It's a rare album. This is a reissue, and I was lucky enough to find this sealed, and I paid $80 for it. But it was on my grail list. RP Eazy. This was a dope album. He was going through some things, but he was standing his ground. Can't lose with Eazy. RIP. All right, number 10. Show an autograph rap record. I don't have any records autographed, so I'll just show an autograph. This is, like I say, got a lot of love for Kid and Play. This is a Kid and Play autograph. I didn't get to meet them. I did buy this from a reputable autograph company. So shout out Kid and Play. Like I say, Too Hype was one of my favorite albums, and that'll segue into our next question. Let's go. All right, number 11. Show a rap record that you own multiple copies of. Kid and Play, Too Hype. This is a U.S. press. Then I got this one. This is a German press. The first one is on Select Records. This one was pressed on Chrysalis. And of course, you know, they reissued it for Record Store Day not too long ago. And I got a copy of that. This is on a colored vinyl. This is still sealed. I'm going to just keep this one just so, because one of my favorite albums. Also, like I say, Kid and Play is one of my first favorite groups because it was one that my father didn't have a issue with me listening to. But there's also another group. That's got to be Heavy, man. Heavy and the Boys. So I got 1, 2, 3 copies of this album. Dope album. I got most of Heavy D stuff. Gotta love it, man. RP Heavy, RP Troy. All right, number 12. Show 7 7-inch rap records. I don't have 7. The majority of the 7-inch records that I have are reggae, but I do have a few raps. So here we go. First one is Mystic. I was talking about Mystic earlier. This is a 7-inch. This came with that 20th anniversary record, and this pressed on a red. Next up, we've got Big Pun. This is Still Not a Player remix, and Twins song with him and Fat Joe over the 187 beat. Of course, Easy, Merry Eminem and Christmas. This is still sealed. Bought this strictly to keep because I got love for Easy. And last but not least is a Tribe Scenario. And this is pressed up on a splatter. I actually received this record free. There's a company I buy from, and I ordered a record, and when the records came, my package was kind of thick. But when I opened it, there was a sign, there was a little note in it that said, enjoy these free records on us. So I'm like, hey, this was the first thing I saw, which I thought was dope. Then when I see the next record, it's not the record I bought. It's the same artist, but it's a different record. So I'm like thinking they messed my order up and sent me the wrong record. But when I take that record out, the record I ordered is under there. So I end up getting the record I bought plus another full LP and this 7-inch by Tribe, which is dope. Shout out Tribe, RP Fife. All right, 13. Show one of your favorite indie rap records from a indie label. And for that, I went with Oshun. This is Bittersweet. This is Bittersweet 1. It's Bittersweet 2. These two ladies, I believe, both from New York. This is Tondi and Niambi. Met going to school, got together, do some music, and the music turned out dope. But they've been working, I want to say maybe 10 years. And she's venturing off into other things. And to commemorate, I guess, the ending of that, they put out a limited edition double vinyl with their Bittersweet 1 and Bittersweet 2 album. And this is pressed on Digger's Factory, which I guess is it's a pressing company that puts out independent artists and smaller groups and smaller bands. It's pretty rare. Not too many in Discogs. I know Digger's Factory, it's a minimum of 100. I don't know how many were pressed, but I was lucky that I was able to grab one of these. Like they dope. Their sound was different. I love it though. I'm glad I got this one. Shout out Oshun. All right, another on the independent label is Lil Rue. This is Will Destroy. This is the first song I heard by Lil Rue. It's on How You Love That Records. Lil Rue is from South Carolina. I'm from South Carolina. This song, when he put this song out, it was big. It made a lot of noise. They compared his sound at that time to Mystical, but Rue kept working. Later on, he got a deal through Universal, and he did pretty well. He had a huge song called Nasty Song, and for some of the younger people that may listen to Lotto, recently she redid that song, but that song originally was Lil Rue's song. So shout out Lil Rue, shout out South Carolina. All right, number 14, show a rap record from an artist that is from a different country. I'm going with the most common one, Slick Rick, Ricky D. At his Great Adventures, and this is The Ruler's Back. We all know Slick Rick, and from that accent, we all know that Rick was born in London, reps New York hard. This is the recent reissue that I copped. This is an OG. I do have a reissue of this. I've showed this record a few times. One of my favorite records of all time, front to back. Let it play. Shout out Slick Rick. I do have another one that I pulled out. That's gonna be Mr. Barrows. Shine. This is Godfather Buried Alive. This album was put out while he was going through his court stuff from the club incident with Puff and J-Lo. And we know Shine, who is now back home in Belize, was born in Belize. So shout out Shine, he's doing things. And one more, not the most popular guy at the moment, but Drake. This is the Take Care album. It's the only Drake album I own. I did like it, and shout out to everybody that wrote it. But we know Drake is from Canada. So, all right, 15. We're getting close to the end, and that is show a rap record that has two different covers. For this, I chose The Coup and Party Music. This is a alternate cover to the original cover that was planned for this album. This album was slated to come out early September 2001. And the cover, I put up a picture of what the original cover was. And if you see that picture, you know, a few days later, some things happened in New York, and the record company immediately pulled that cover. And it's like, we can't do that. And Boots fought for it, for what he felt the cover meant, but the record company wasn't having it. And so with that also happening, that pushed the album back, and it was released a little later on. But this is the cover that they went with. Dope album though. Like I say, I got love for the Cool, love a lot of the stuff that they do. And party music. Shout out Boots. R.I.P. Pam. All right, that should have been it, but I'm gonna add a 16 just to show some love to the person that created this tag. So number 16, show your vinyl copy of Gumbo's Basement Music. There we go. Um, Gumbo, like I say, Rap City back in the day, uh, their music was different than a lot of stuff that was played. But watching Daryl D's channel on another video, he brought this album up, and it reminded me, like, and I thought, like, that song was dope. That was a dope group, and I had to go find me a copy of this. So shout out Gumbo, that basement music, and shout out to Daryl D. All right, that's gonna do it. And that's my rap vinyl tag again. Shout out to Daryl D. Shout out to hip hop. Shout out to rap music. If you haven't, go ahead, please hit that like, hit that subscribe. If you want to share, share. And until next time, peace.